Everywhere you go, MTN.
Welcome to MTN Bok Trivia. Today we're going to be taking 4 Springboks and teaming them up with 4 Springbok fans to find out how much they really know about the team they play for and support. Of course, if you're an MTN client, you can also tackle MTN Bok Trivia every day. It's a rugby-themed subscription service that gives you daily rounds of Bok Trivia questions on the web and mobile game. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. Right now, let me introduce you to our teams. Of course, each team does consist one Springbok and one Springbok fan. So a very, very big thank you to the Springboks for joining us today. In Team 1, we've got Springbok prop Wilco Low, joined by Melissa. Wilco, what's your sports trivia like?
Yeah, I can't promise anything, but I'll wait to see.
I enjoyed the banter between you and Melissa, kind of figuring out who's going to be carrying the team here. We'll have to wait and see. Over in team number 2, we've got Bulls flank Marco van Staden. Of course, they call him Eskom. Maybe we can just start with that. Marco, why do they call you Eskom for all of those people out there that don't know?
Yeah, they say I tackle the people's lights out, I'll give load shedding, but yeah, let's keep it normal.
All right, so we'll see if you can enforce a little bit of load shedding on this sports trivia today. You'll be playing alongside Stefan, who's your Springbok fan in your team. Stefan, thanks for joining us. In Team 3, we've got Springbok lock Marvin Ori. Marvin, what's your sports trivia like? You look like a man who really enjoys a wide variety of sport.
I'm quite a big sports fan. I love soccer and cricket and obviously rugby as well. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting, I think.
Martha, how are you feeling about today? Excited? Very, very good. All right. Okay, in team number 4, last but not least, we've got the Springbok veteran, one of my favorite rugby players of all time. I'm just going to put it out there. Frans Steyn, thanks very much for joining us. You are the veteran. You've been around a long time. You must have a lot of knowledge of the Springboks. If I was a betting man, I think I'd be putting my money on you today. You'll be playing alongside Matt this afternoon. He's your Springbok fan. Before we get started, I'm going to explain to you guys how this game is going to work in the meantime. All right. So we're going to be starting off with 2 rounds, okay? You can think of it like any rugby competition you've ever watched before that has teams playing other teams twice before the knockout stages of the competition. It's that simple. So in rounds 1 and 2, I'm going to be asking each team 4 true or false questions. It's going to go one at a time. So we'll go Team Low, Team Van Staden, Team Ori, and then Team Steyn, and then we'll go back to Team number 1. You're going to have 20 seconds to answer, and we will have a timer running. So it's kind of like a conversion after a try. You're going to have to be quick with your shot at goal. And I'm going to be harsh. I'm going to be like a referee on you. Make sure that you're getting the answers in time. Then at the end of round 2, the bottom 2 teams are going to be eliminated, okay? So MTN Bok Trivia is a battle against relegation. If you get to the end of round 2 and you don't have enough points, cheers, we're going to say goodbye to you. The Bok guys can, go and enjoy the rest of their afternoon off, and the fans can sadly miss out on some great prizes this afternoon. And then, of course, if we do have a tiebreaker, I've got some tie-break questions that I'm going to throw at you. Just a quick note on those. Those won't be true or false. So the first 2 rounds, everything's going to be true or false. But if we get to a tiebreaker, you're actually going to have to give me the answer without me giving you a true or false option. We're going to go into the final round, okay? That'll have 2 teams, 7 questions each, and then, of course, we will be crowning one winner. I've explained the rules. Does everyone want to give me a thumbs up if you guys are happy and ready to go? All right. I think let's get this thing underway. Team number 1, Team Low. We're going to be starting off with you. Your first question, true or false? The 1995 Rugby World Cup final was held at Loftus Versfeld.
False. I think it's false.
Okay, so Melissa straight out the box. Okay, Wilco agrees, false. And I can tell you guys that you have 1 point because that is the correct answer. It is false. The final was played at Ellis Park, of course. So, team number 2, Team Eskom. I'm not even going to say Team Van Staden. I'm just going to say Team Eskom. Here is your question. Bryan Habana is the most capped backline player for the Springboks. True or false?
Go false, I think.
Ik denk is vals.
Okay,
False.
so both that's an agreement on false, and unfortunately, you guys are wrong. It is actually true. Bryan Habana played 124 tests for the Springboks. He scored 67 tries. So yeah, unfortunately incorrect. I think Frans Stein's getting close to that number of tests. Maybe 20 or so behind, I think. Okay, moving on swiftly. Team number 3, Team Ori. Here is your first question. Kitch Christie replaced Ian Mcintosh as Springbok coach in 1994. True or false?
I think it's true.
Okay, that's an agreement. So both of you have said true, and that is a very, very good guess because it is indeed true. So that answer was correct. Christie remained unbeaten, as a matter of fact, as Springbok coach. That included a then record of 14 wins in a row. I think Nick Mallet overtook that record of wins in a row a few years later. All right, team number 4, Team Steyn. Here is your question, your first question of the competition. John Smit was man of the match in the 2007 Rugby World Cup final. Frans Steyn should know this answer. No, that's false.
False. Yeah,
False. Okay.
False.
Okay, there we go. So that's agreement from Team Steyn that the answer is false, and that is correct.
Victor.
It was Victor Matfield. Well done. Very, very good. 100%.
It's false. John wasn't man of the match.
Frans Steyn just setting the record straight there, just making sure we know John Smit was not man of the match. All right, there we go. That was your first 4 questions. We're going back to Team Low for your second question. Andre Joubert was known as the Rolls Royce of fullbacks. True or false?
What do you think, Walter?
I'll say I'm gonna guess true. What do you say?
I'm thinking false. No, let's
Okay.
go true. Let's go true.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, there we go. I like that you guys use your 20 seconds to converse among yourselves a little bit. You said true. The answer is correct. It is true. Of course, Andre Joubert was known as the Rolls Royce of fullbacks. And of course, he played the 1995 Rugby World Cup final with a broken hand. That's just how committed he was to the Springboks cause. And they did go on to win their first ever Rugby World Cup title back then. All right, team number 2, Team Eskom. Here is your second question. Nick Mallet was the Springbok coach at the 2007 World Cup. True or false?
It is false.
Yeah, false.
All right, false. We're not even going to waste time with that one. That is indeed correct. The correct answer was Jake White. Moving on to Team 3, Team Ori. Here is your question. Tendai the Beast Mtawarira was born in Harare, Zimbabwe. True or false?
True.
But we'll go with Marvin Ori's answer. That is true, and that is correct. With 117 caps, Beast is the most Springbok cap prop in Springbok history as one. Yes, he is a Zimbabwean national by birth. All right, Team 4, Team Frans Steyn. Here's your next question. Chester Williams scored twice against Samoa in the quarterfinal of the 1995 Rugby World Cup. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a hint. This might be a trick question. Let me ask it again. Chester Williams scored twice against Samoa in the quarterfinal of the 1995 Rugby World Cup. True or false?
False. False. He scored 4 times. Yeah.
Hey, very, very good. Okay, there we go. You guys clearly know your rugby very, very well. False is the correct answer. Chester Williams actually scored 4 tries in what was his first match at the tournament as well. So well done, guys. Fantastic. Really, really great knowledge of your Springbok history. Back to Team 1, Team Low. Here's your next question. Harry Viljoen coached the Springboks at the 2003 Rugby World Cup. True or false?
I'm not sure at this one, although I think it's
I'm gonna say false.
Oh, crazy! Okay, let's go false.
All right. There's some good team synergy going on here. False is what the answer was given, and false is indeed correct. And Rudolph's... Yeah, Wilco led you on the right path there. Rudolf Strali was the coach of the Springboks back then. And of course, it's an era of Springbok rugby that a lot of the legends that played back then like to forget because, of course, before that Rugby World Cup, they went to Camp Staldrad, which none of them want to talk about, and we'll leave it at that. All right, Team 2, Team van Staden, Team Eskom. Here's your next question. John Smit led South Africa to a 2-1 series win versus the British and Irish Lions in 2009. True or false?
Ek dink is true, né?
True,
Yeah.
true.
All right,
Ek
you
dink
guys.
hy was kaptein daai tyd.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so true.
Yeah.
True is the answer given, and I'm glad you guys got that one right because that would have been a regrettable
Yeah,
one
that's
to get right because that's the last time the British and Irish Lions were here. So it is true, and of course the highlight of the series was the second test. Stephen Jones slotted a penalty for the Lions to make it 25-all, and then of course Morné Steyn stepped up a few minutes later and slotted that massive 52-meter penalty to win the match 28-25 and seal the series 2-0. All right, Team 3. In 1997, Kitch Christie coached the Springboks on their unbeaten 1997 tour of Europe. True or false?
Wow, that's a tricky question. Yes. I think I'd go with false. I think he stopped after the World Cup, so I'd go with false.
All right. Okay, you've used your full 20 seconds there, but you gave me an answer. False was the answer given, and that is indeed correct. Kitch Christie wasn't the coach then. The correct answer was Nick Mallet. So well done, guys. You got that one right. Okay, back to Team Steyn. Victor Matfield has played the most tests for South Africa. True or false?
True.
All right, we got an
Daniel's just
answer.
behind him at 124. He's on 127.
You got the answer there in time. That is
True.
that is correct. True is correct. Of course, Victor Matfield getting 127 test caps for the Springboks. Like you mentioned there, I think Percy Montgomery was just behind him on the test cap marks. All right, so that is the end of round 1. We're going to quickly recap what the score is before we go into round 2 with the 4 teams that we have here. It's all to play for here. So this is the leaderboard, guys. We've got a 3-way tie for first place at the end of round 1. Team Steyn, Team Ori, and Team Low have 30 points, and Team Eskom have 20 points. So they've got everything to do in round 2. I think we can move on to round 2 then. Plenty to play for. This is the last 4 questions each of the teams will be answering before we relegate 2 of you. So let's make sure that we pay attention here. All right, let's start round 2. Team Low, here is your next question. South Africa played their first ever test match in 1896.
I don't know the history that well, but I'll think it's true. It can be.
I think I'll go with true because you've been great so far this whole time, so I'm going true.
Let's guess it. Okay. I'll say it's true.
All right, so you guys have said true. Unfortunately, that is incorrect. It's false. The first ever Springbok test was played on July 30th, 1891 in Port Elizabeth. That's a very, very long time ago, 100 years before I was born. All right, Team van Staden, here is your next question. Pat Lambie started less than half of his 56 Springbok tests. True or false?
Ek dink dit mag dalk true wees.
Wat was die vraag geweest?
Pat Lambie het ja.
Pat Lambie started less than half of his 56 Springbok tests. True or false?
Ek dink is
Started less. True.
All right.
ja, ek dink is true.
Yeah, Marco had said true already, and that is the correct answer. Amazingly, Lambie only started in 22 of his 56 tests. Would have loved to have seen him play more times in the starting lineup for the Springboks. All right, Team 3, Team Ori, here is your next question. South Africa's biggest defeat was a 57-0 loss to the All Blacks. True or false?
I think that's true.
False. You can get that false.
Okay, so Martha's trusting in Marvin here with a true answer, and that is correct. The Springboks suffered defeat to the All Blacks at North Harbour Stadium, and it was a 57-0 loss. We're not going to mention that again, just for the sake of all of us. All right, Team 4, Team Stain, here is your next question. Mark Andrews started the 1995 World Cup final at open side flank. True or false?
False. Started the 8th man. Right.
I think Frans Steyn agrees. False. We'll lock in false. False is the correct answer. Andrews did start the final at 8th man. Of course, he was traditionally a lock, but he got moved to number 8, and obviously it proved to be a masterstroke because the Springboks won that Rugby World Cup. All right, back to Team 1. Team Low, Siya Kolisi has played more tests for South Africa than Rassie Erasmus. True or false?
I think it's true. I'm almost certain it's true.
Yeah, true.
All right, cool. You guys use your 10 seconds. True was the answer given, and that is indeed correct. Kolisi has played 51 tests to date, and Rassie only played 36 tests for the Springboks. Let me not say only played 36 tests, because that's a fantastic tally. Any test for the Springboks is a great achievement. Moving on to Team 2. Team Eskom, the guys with all to play for. Here we go. Here's your next question. Bakkies Botha played more Springbok tests than Mark Andrews. True or false?
Say true, dog.
I think it's true, yeah.
All right, true is the answer given, and that is indeed correct. Mark Andrews played 77 tests. Bakkies played 85 tests. So he got ahead of him by the end of his career. Well done, boys. You guys were under a bit of pressure there, and you brought it back. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, team number 3, Team Ori. Here's your next question. Springbok captain Siya Kolisi was born in Cape Town. True or false?
False.
All right. Unanimous agreement. 5 seconds into the countdown. False is the answer, and that is indeed correct. Siya was actually born in Zwide in the Eastern Cape. So well done, guys. That was correct. All right, team number 4, Team Stain. Here is your next question. The Springboks beat Italy by 101 points to 0 at Kings Park in 1999. True or false?
Leading towards true. What do you think, Frans?
I don't know, man. In 99.
I think.
Do you really think they played Italy there?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
That's
fine then. Go with true. But I don't think so, but we go with true.
All right. Okay, so there we go. You're putting the team first. He's gone with true. France, that was the right decision as well, because the answer was true. They did beat Italy by 101 points to 0 at Kings Park in 1999. I didn't know that one either, I'll be honest with you. All right, back to Team Low. Back to Team Low. Former Springbok captain Corne Krige was born in Pretoria. True or false?
Listen, what do you think? I'm not sure.
I'm gonna say false. I don't know. This one I don't know.
I think it might be false, yes.
Yeah, I think it's false. Yeah.
Okay.
It was back away.
That's a unanimous false decision there, and that is the correct answer. Well done. He wasn't born in Pretoria. He was actually born in Lusaka in Zambia. So he wasn't born in South Africa at all. All right. Team number 2, Team van Staden, Team Eskom. The Springboks' first overseas game was against Scotland in Glasgow in 1906. True or false?
Yes.
Ja, nee, ek kan nie stil ver terug dink nie.
Ja, wel, ek weet nie of ons daai tyd al oorsee gespeel het. Ek weet ek dis kom maar kans vat te sê dis ek dink is vals.
Okay.
Ek dink as hulle al voor dit gespeel het, dan dink ek nee, is al voor oorsee.
Your timer has ended. You guys said false. Unfortunately, that is not the correct answer. It was actually true. And the 1906 trip was South Africa's first official international rugby tour. It was also the tour in which the Springbok nickname was coined. I learned something there as well because I didn't know that. All right, team number 3, Team Ori. Here we go. Next question. Percy Montgomery was the first Springbok to play 100 tests for South Africa. True or false?
True.
All right, true. You guys didn't need more than 5 seconds for that one. That is correct. And Percy ended up playing 102 tests before he retired in 2008. So he brought up the 100, got a couple more tests, and he said, "No, guys, I'm done." Fantastic Springbok veteran. All right, team number 4, Team France Stain. Here is the question. The Springboks have won the Rugby World Cup 4 times. True or false?
False.
All right, you guys have said false. That is indeed correct. They've won it 3 times, in 1995, 2007, and of course 2019. And of course France Stain was involved in 2 of those Springbok wins. Very, very good. All right. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to move into the final round of questions in round 2, going to Team 1. The Springboks played against Australia in their first post-isolation test match in 1992. True or false?
I think it might be true. What do you think, Vanessa?
I'm trying to think back. I was like 5. I think it's true because yes, we came out to be on. True, because then. Oh no, it's horrible.
Okay, you guys have gone for true. Unfortunately, that is not the correct answer. It was false. The Springboks first played against New Zealand and they lost 24-27. All right, we're going to be moving on to Team van Staden. The Springboks, here is your question. The Springboks have only lost 1 Rugby World Cup final. True or false?
In World Cup final.
False.
I think it's false, yeah.
All right, you guys have given me a good answer there. That is indeed false because the Springboks, in every single Rugby World Cup final that they've appeared in, have won. So that is indeed correct. Well done, guys. All right, Team Ori, here's your last question of the round. South Africa's first test victory was in 1896 against the British and Irish Lions at Newlands in Cape Town. True or false?
Oh, I don't know. I think that's false.
Martha? All right, so you guys have gone with false, and your timer is just about to finish there. Unfortunately, that's incorrect. It's actually true. The Springboks did play that first test back in Cape Town, and the scoreline was just 5-0. Of course, the scoring was very, very different in rugby back then. All right, guys, we are on to the final question of the round. Team France Stain, this is the last question. Here we go. Tonderai Chavhanga holds the try-scoring record for a single test match. True or false?
True.
All right, very, very good. There you go. You guys are too good, man. It is true. Chavhanga scored 6 tries against Uruguay in East London in 2005. All right, guys, that is the end of round 2. We are now going to chop 2 teams. So now we're going to take a look at the scoreboard and figure out where everyone else is and see if we need a little tiebreaker to sort things out here. Let's have a look at the scoreboard. Whoa. Okay, very, very good. So unfortunately, there is no need for a tiebreak here. We've got Team Low and Team van Staden in 4th and 3rd place with 50 points each. And then in 2nd place, as it currently stands, Team Ori with 60 points. And then the veteran France Stain leading his team with 70 points. They're top of the log. We're going to take this moment to say goodbye to Team Low and Team van Staden. thank you very much for playing. To the Springboks, thanks for taking the time to play with us this afternoon. To our Springbok fans, well done, guys. I hope you enjoyed the moment to play alongside some of your heroes. All right, team in first and team in second. Team Stain and Team Ori, it's time for the finals. 7 questions each, only one winner. Who's going to take it? All right, here we go. So we're going to start with Team Stain because they're in first. This is your first question. Team Stain, you guys are going to be going first in the final round. Here we go. South Africa scored the most points of all teams that played in the 2019 Rugby World Cup. True or false? Can you guys see the question there? You got a true or false for me? Can you guys see the question there? You got a true or false for me? All right, here we go.
True.
Perfect. Okay, we're going to lock that answer in. True was the answer given, and that is indeed correct. The Springboks scored 262 points in the tournament. Yeah, I think France was probably notching those up while he was there in Japan. All right, Team Ori, you guys are in second. Here is your question. Madiba wore the number 7 jersey when handing over the Rugby World Cup trophy in 1995. True or false?
False.
All right, very good. I could see Marvin knew the answer straight away, and Martha slowly got to it. False is indeed correct. Madiba actually wore the number 6 jumper. Of course, that was the same number that Francois Steyn, the Springbok captain, played in that final. All right, back to Team Steyn for the next question. Chester Williams' uncle, Avril, also played for the Springboks. True or false?
False. I'd say true, France. What do you think?
I don't know. I think it's false. I don't know. Go with true. You know all the answers. So it's true. True.
Matt gave us true, and that is indeed the correct answer. Once again, France trusting his teammate like the champion that he is, and that paid off very, very well because the answer was true. Avril Williams played for Western Province, and he also has 2 Springbok caps. Very, very good. Well done, Matt. Your Springbok knowledge is incredible. I'm very impressed. All right, Team Ori, here is your next question. Bryan Habana was the leading try scorer at the 2007 Rugby World Cup. True or false?
True.
All right. Okay, there we go. Marvin and Martha, you guys are working like, a proper team here. True was the answer given. That is indeed correct. He scored 8 tries at the 2007 World Cup. All right, back to Team Stain for the next question. Duane Vermeulen has started all 54 of his Springbok tests. True or false?
He had to be on the bench for one. Or don't you think so?
5 seconds.
I think it's one of those where Duane started all of it. I think it's one of those.
You all right?
Okay, let's go with true.
The machine that he is.
Okay, so just as the countdown was finishing, France said, let's go with true. He's trusting Matt once again. And unbelievably, that is correct. He did. And for me, I agree with you, France. You would think that Duane Vermeulen cannot have started every single Springbok test that he's played in. Surely there was a game that he came off the bench. He was coming back from injury. That is how good the man is. He started all 54 of his Springbok tests. Well done, guys. That's a good answer, that one.
Nice.
All right. Team Ori, here we go. Here's your next question. Faf de Klerk has started more tests than Ricky January. True or false?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it could be true.
All right, so Martha's agreeing with Marvin there, and you guys said true. Unfortunately, the answer is false. Faf has played 30 Springbok tests, and Ricky January played 47 tests during his career for South Africa. All right, back to Team Stain for your next question. Springbok captain Siya Kolisi attended Bishop's School in Cape Town. True or false?
False.
All right, there we go. Matt Your rugby knowledge is impeccable. False is correct. He went to grey in Port Elizabeth. Well done. All right, moving back to Team Ori. Here we go. Jacques Fourie outscored Jean de Villiers as a centre playing for the Springboks. True or false?
Tricky one as well. Yeah, I think probably Jacques Fourie scored more, so that could be true, I think.
All right. Martha's going with her Springbok companion here, and she made the right decision as well. You make sure you throw that line-out ball to Marvin. He's not going to miss it. Same thing goes with this question. The answer is indeed true. Jacques Fourie scored 32 tries in 72 tests for the Springboks. Jean de Villiers scored 27 in his 109. Back to Team Stain. Here is your next question. Andre Pretorius slotted 4 drop goals against England in 2006. True or false?
Yes. Again. True. True.
All right, you guys are in agreement there, and time has run out.
France slotted a bigger one though, but Pretorius did 4.
Listen, I don't think anyone slots bigger drop goals than France, so that goes without saying. But the answer is indeed correct. It's true. The Springboks came back from 14-3 down to take the Twickenham Test 25 points to 14, and that included 12 points in drop goals from Andre Pretorius. Very, very well done. All right, here we go. Team Ori, your next question. Uli Smit played more Springbok Tests than Malcolm Marx. True or false?
Oh, yes, I don't know. I don't know, but I think Malcolm's since 2016. I think it's false. Malcolm played more, I think.
All right, your time is up as well. Marvin said false. Martha was kind of silent there, just hoping that he got it right. The answer is indeed false. Uli Smit won 17 caps, and Malcolm Marx has already played 33 tests for the Springboks. All right, guys, we've got 2 questions left for each of you. Back to Team Stain. Here is your next question. Nas Botha played 28 Springbok tests across 12 years. True or false?
Let's Google say.
He played his last in 92, so 1980. I'd say true.
All right.
92, true.
Okay, there you go. The time has just run out, and the true was the answer given. That is indeed correct. Nas Botha scored 328 points in his 28 Springbok tests. I also thought he played more times for South Africa. All right, moving back to Team Ori. Morné Steyn scored more tries as fly-off than Handré Pollard. True or false?
False. I think false.
All right, so Martha's in agreement with Marvin. They've said false. And amazingly, that is actually not correct. Morné Steyn has scored more test tries than Handré Pollard. Morné Steyn scored 8 to date, while Pollard has only scored 6 at this point in time. Hopefully he's got many, many more tests ahead of him, and he'll score more tries. All right, back to Team Stain. I believe this is your final question of the final round. Here is your final question. Fourie du Preez is the Springboks' second most capped scrum half of all time. True or false?
Second most capped scrum half. It's between him and Joost. Did he play more than Joost?
Ruan Pienaar played more. He is the second.
Go do it.
Yeah, I think Fourie is the second.
Perfect. So Frans Steyn is locked in true as the answer. Your explanation wasn't exactly correct, but true is the right answer. Fourie du Preez has played 76 caps for the Springboks, and Joost van der Westhuizen was first with 89. And France, just to make a point on that, obviously Ron, I think he has 87 tests, but he played a mix of scrum off and
Viljoen
fly
has
off.
also 80 caps.
Yeah, exactly. But he played different positions,
Maybe-
and that
maybe
is
Ron
why
is
the
his
answer is that. Yes, that is correct.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys, the final question of the competition. Team Ori, here we go. Dani Gerber scored the Springboks' first points after isolation. True or false?
Yes, yeah, I don't know. I'd say, I think true.
Okay, so you're giving me true, and you're a Lone Ranger now because I see that Martha has left you. So you've given me true. Unfortunately, that is incorrect. It's actually false. The correct answer is Nas Botha. All right, and that brings to an end our list of questions for the final round. I think we're going to jump up and have a look at the scoreboard and see where things lie. Let's bring it up and see who wins. Whoa. I'm not even surprised though. All right, and the winner of the MTN Bok Trivia test with 140 points is Team Stain. Matt and Franz Stain, very, very well done to you guys. You smashed it today. And Matt, you've won yourself a Springbok Lions Tour merchandise hamper that consists of a cap, a scarf, beanie, a buff, and a power bank. We'll make sure that we send Franz Stain some of those gifts as well. Just a quick thank you to you guys for playing. Franz Stain, Marvin Ori, you guys are still with us. Thanks so much for playing today, guys. Thanks for taking the time. Matt and Martha, once again, thank you. I hope you enjoyed your time playing alongside your Springbok heroes. And once again, congratulations, Franz Stain and Matt, for winning it. Fantastic stuff.
Thanks,
and this is, of course, brings down the curtain on the first episode of the MTN Bok Trivia. Remember, if you're with MTN, you can tackle the trivia as well. Bok Trivia is a rugby-themed subscription service that awards subscribers with daily rounds of Bok Trivia questions on the web and mobile game. All you need to do is go to boktrivia.mtn.co.za, subscribe to Bok Trivia for only R3 a day. The first day is free as well. One round of the Bok Trivia web game includes 15 rugby-themed questions. You swipe right for correct answers and you swipe left for the wrong ones. And at the end of each round, your correct answers are converted into points for the grand and weekly cash prize draws. So test your rugby knowledge and stand a chance to win big, including your share of R1 million in cash. Thank you very much for watching, guys. We'll catch you next week.
Everywhere you go, MTN.